Chapter 30. Echoes Beyond the Walls. PJ walked briskly through the thrumming streets of the city, a small but significant stack of CDs and tapes clutched tightly in his hands. Each was labeled with a name that had started to carry weight beyond the prison walls. Prison Walls by Cody Steele and the Echoes. The physicality of the discs felt like holding a piece of Cody himself, a fragile lifeline infused with redemption, truth, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, the world was ready to listen. His first stop was a local radio station tucked into a squat brick building, the kind of place where a neon on-air sign buzzed faintly above the doorway, flickering occasionally as if it, too, was trying to keep up with the chaos inside. PJ stepped in, the hum of dials, monitors, and muffled voices washing over him. At the reception desk, he managed to snag an impromptu meeting with a DJ, mid-30s, charismatic, and clearly skeptical. The DJ twirled a pen in his hand, eyeing the CD PJ slid across the counter. "What's this?" the DJ asked, leaning back in his chair. "Not just a song," PJ said, his voice firm but tinged with urgency. "This is a story of a man who screwed up, lost everything, and is fighting like hell to find his way back. Cody Steele's music, it's raw, it's real, and it's changing lives even from inside a prison cell." The DJ's eyebrows lifted, interest sparking behind his cool exterior. He spun the CD in his fingers, studying the label. "All right," he said, finally nodding. "Let's give it a spin. See what the listeners think." PJ exhaled, his shoulders relaxing slightly. He watched as the DJ slid the disc into the player, the first haunting chords of Prison Walls slipping out through the station speakers. The DJ didn't say anything at first, but the quiet tap of his pen on the desk slowed, then stopped entirely. "Not bad," he muttered, more to himself than to PJ. He leaned forward, his voice carrying into the mic. "Listeners, this one's special. Give it a listen. Cody Steele, straight from the walls of Ouachita River Correctional. Let's see what you think." PJ left the station with a bounce in his step, his confidence growing. Back on the crowded street, he pulled out his phone and got to work. His fingers moved swiftly, uploading links to Cody's song onto every platform he could think of. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. The hashtags started to spread, and PJ's notifications buzzed like an accelerating heartbeat. Each post was a small shout into the void, but together they carried weight. Listen to Prison Walls, a song of hope from the unlikeliest place. The television studio felt a world away from the gritty radio station. Bright lights, perfectly arranged furniture, and an undercurrent of controlled chaos. PJ sat in the green room, the small stack of CDs resting beside him like a talisman. He adjusted his shirt for the 10th time, smoothing out imaginary wrinkles as he glanced at his reflection in the mirror. His phone buzzed incessantly in his pocket, texts of encouragement, updates from Karen, and notifications of Prison Walls slowly finding its way into the public consciousness. "You're up after the break," a brisk producer told him, clipboard in hand. "Just be yourself. Tell his story." PJ nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat. "Got it, thanks." The moment came too soon. PJ walked onto the set, shaking hands with the host before settling into the plush chair across from her. The lights were warm, nearly blinding, and the audience behind the cameras buzzed softly with anticipation. "So, PJ," the host began, her tone warm and inviting, "tell us about Cody Steele. From what I hear, he's not just making music, he's creating something extraordinary." PJ leaned forward slightly, his voice steady despite the nerves twisting in his gut. "Cody's story is one of mistakes, but it's also one of redemption," he said. "He's a man who lost everything, his family, his freedom, but found a way to hold on to the one thing that mattered, his music. His single, Prison Walls, isn't just a song, it's a message. It's his way of reaching out, of saying that even in the darkest places, there's still light." The host nodded, her expression softening. "And it's resonating, isn't it?" PJ smiled faintly, nodding. "It is. The response so far has been incredible. People hear Cody's voice, and they see themselves in his struggle. It's not about where he is, it's about where he's going." A snippet of Prison Walls played over the studio speakers, the raw emotion of Cody's voice filling the room. The audience stilled, the usual chatter replaced by a quiet reverence. Even the host seemed caught off guard, her hand drifting to her chest as if to steady herself. "That," she said softly as the song faded, "is powerful." After the show, PJ stepped outside into the cool evening air, the city a symphony of honking horns and rushing footsteps. He pulled out his phone, glancing at the screen. It was alive with notifications, comments, shares, messages from strangers moved by Cody's music. A grin broke across PJ's face as he stared at the skyline, the weight of the day lifting slightly from his shoulders. "We're just getting started, Cody," he murmured, slipping the phone into his pocket. The city buzzed around him, but in his heart he felt something quieter, more profound, the hum of a story taking flight, of echoes spreading beyond the walls that once confined them.